finally hit one.
Oh, oh, there we go. Hey, it's me. I'm here. Hello. Hello, it's me. Back at it with the epilogue. Yeah. Continuing the candy run. I started a little later. I didn't I have an issue where I don't allocate time properly, and I think I have more time to cook and eat after work than I do. And that's kind of like a big issue I have. I don't realize how long it takes. Well, oh, okay. I do know how long it takes. I just end up talking with one of my friends before I get home for like an extra like 30 minutes to an hour. Usually it's like, honestly, it's usually like an hour. Yeah. An hour after work. We hang out for a bit. But I'm here. Um, I haven't been on my computer in like, I guess not too long. It's only been like 3 days, 4 days. One, two, yeah, like 3 days. So I feel, I don't know, feel like I don't know what I'm doing on here. No, it's been 4. Yeah. I didn't even have a laptop with me. I went to a conference I was at. Uh, and okay, let's get the screen in here. Which button is it? This one? Hey, I still remember. I still remember where it's at. Okay, 1 second. Oh, I hit the wrong button there. Okay. I'm back. Are you back to an early schedule? Um, I I'm back to like the normal schedule. I'm trying to stick to the 6:30 p.m. in my time, the normal time, instead of adding the extra like 30 minutes. But um, yeah, we leave out. Oh, we left out. Yeah, okay. Okay, man, where we're at? Hmm. Do I have everything turned on? Everything's right. That looks okay. Gotta unmute. Okay, okay. Ah. Trying to think a little bit about what all happened again. I forgot about Gamzee doing the Gamzee thing. Okay. Okay. We ended here. Okay, so we ended on page 7, right? And we're actually on page 8. Yes. Yes, that is what happened. Okay. Hello, hello. Hmm. I don't like the idea of Candy being like Calliope's like fan fiction of sorts. Uh boom. Oh, did I miss it? I didn't. Okay. 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 We left off with Rose and Kanaya. Hmm. Need- Okay. Oh, that's where I said it. Oh, I bought a Gatorade. Can you hear that? Wow. I can't believe that was heard under my desk, under everything. Wow. Oh, that that wasn't heard. Still testing limitations of like what my mic can hear or not. Okay. I'm a little disorientated being like just getting back to wait. Oh wait, this isn't supposed to be here. I have to change that actually. let me just reset again real quick. That's in the wrong spot. Boom. Oh, I hit the wrong thing. I ended up in a car ride for I don't know how long. How long was it? We left. We left from the conference at like 11. We left at 11. I got home at about 9:30. About 11 and a half hours in a car. Hmm. Well, I guess it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I was carpooling to it with my boss. My boss drives a electric car. Electric cars are not as bad as I thought they would be for a long car ride. Did add probably an extra, I don't know, maybe hour and a half one way, but not that bad. One thing I got did was that was annoying on our way back is the car rerouted because it didn't think it was gonna make it to the next charging station and added an extra 30 minutes to an hour on our trip, and we didn't realize it because we weren't looking at the map. And what electric cars do is when they're prepping to go to a charging station, they start preconditioning their battery. So they just start basically using a bunch of stuff to get it to a certain percentage, get it like warmed up, just so it can take as much all that energy as fast as it can and get you going fast. But it does drain your battery more, and that kind of added an extra hour on the final day, which was yesterday. So I got home at 10:30, not too bad, but I ended up staying up a little too late. Uh, okay, think I'm good. Hmm, that's not the way there. Hmm, 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 hmm. Did you hear that, June? Did you hear that, Jane? Hmm. Did you hear that, Jane? That sounds so rough. I don't know how to like. I don't know how people like talk in a way to stop pops from happening when you speak. Like Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. I don't. I have a pop filter, but there's apparently good mic technique you use. There's a, maybe it's just avoiding those letters and sounds. Sounds like a horror movie where you end up in stranded in the middle of nowhere because the AI made a simple mistake. Uh, kind of does. I actually had like a situation. I was like the movie Jeepers Creepers once. I was on a bus during I think we're coming back from a golf meet, no golf practice, and the bus broke down in front of a cornfield with a scarecrow. Uh, I was low key just like scared from that, like irrationally worried. Man, I miss playing golf. Uh, hmm, did you hear that Jane had been intending to run for president? Hmm. Yes, she in fact asked me to serve a position in her cabinet on the Board of Responsible Troll Reproduction. Oh dear, what did you tell her? Well, not in so many words, but I told her to kindly fuck off. Board of Responsible Troll Reproduction. Damn, Jane. Damn, Jane. Rose arches an eyebrow at her wife, who is tending to the mother grub. Rose herself is sitting cross legged on an outcropping over the lip of the breeding pit, knitting a series of tiny scarves for the grub clones that she and Kanaya have come to help hatch. That's bad, huh? She was already talking about regulating troll reproduction, with great confidence, I might add, as if she had already been elected. Very presumptuous of her. Well, I suppose her confidence was not unearned. Who was going to run against her? Carcat? Kanaya laughs to herself, more fond than mocking. Rose turns over another row of her scarf with dexterous ease, switching the knit pattern without missing a stitch. From behind her knitting, she watches Kanaya check the shell thickness on a batch of eggs. Her wife is luminous in the early morning light, her rainbow her rainbow drinker's skin soaking in the pink light and reflecting it back like the inside of a snail's shell. Ah, I don't think Karkat would do. I don't think Karkat would be such a bad candidate, actually. Depending on certain factors, I mean. I'm assuming that in this theoretical scenario, Dave is handling the economy. Oh, of course. Okay. In that case, it might have all worked out in the end. Doubtlessly. I have great faith in Karkat and always have. However, I also am not certain that he could step out of his hive without catching on. Swiffer, could you not swift the mother grub so vigorously? Just like, I guess it's a real person, right? Swiffer Egg Mop. Egg Mop. Hmm. Hmm. Oh. 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 Oh, sorry, ma'am. Swiffer Egg Mop is kind of overeager but well meaning jade blooded assistant. Egg Mop. Egbert. Hmm. She talks a little like a parody of a 1920s newsboy archetype, which Rose can only theorize has to do with Jane's influence on the culture. Uh, just trying to, just trying to. I don't know how a newsboy sounds from the 1920s at all. Uh, hmm. Just trying to get her nice and clean. I heard the news prospect hornographers coming by later to scoop out some pics. Hmm. Hmm. Uh, I'll figure it out. They come back. Swiffer is at the center of the breeding pits, knee deep in birthing juices as she mops down the mother grub's exoskeleton. The the parturition? Ugh, I can't read. Of troll grubs is apparently an arduous and grisly task, one that has stained the mother grub's shimmering white exoskeleton rainbow dark with various secretions. Rose takes a moment to feel grateful that her current relationship alignment leaves no chance for her to ever be human pregnant. Not that she has any particular distaste for motherhood. It might be nice to adopt a little troll grub once the whole ball on natural production gets rolling, so for adjust the rate of her swiffing to a more acceptable level of vigor. She shines up the last of the segment she was working on, then twirls the mop over her wrist with a martial flourish that absolutely recalls the fact that she is from a natural born warrior species. She then gets to work washing the mother grub's horns. Hmm. Hmm. What what's this about the hornograph? Her? Uh, Since when has the press taken an interest in our activities down here? Oh, yes, you were busy dying when I set all of that up. The mother grub is mature enough this year to process inseminated slurry for the first time in our history. If the government gives us the go ahead, we can begin breeding trolls the natural way next month. I arranged the newspaper story win. I think Rose feels complicated about motherhood due to her angsty, never resolved relationship with Mom Lalonde, only made more awkward by meeting Roxy. Yeah. The idea, I'm not, it's interesting to me that they actually just have like a normal, like, I guess a government of some sort. I guess it makes sense they wouldn't just do like, they wouldn't just worship like gods, or maybe they just wanted to, hmm. Hmm. I arranged the newspaper story win. Oh. When Jane asked you to sit on the board for responsible troll reproduction. Hmm. Hmm. Imagine if they did worship the god tiers only. Oh, damn. Somehow it would be so awkward to go out in public. Would you trust a planet with 12 high school dropout gods? You know, compared to like all the other like creatures I've seen and met in Homestuck, kinda like I kind of would trust them. Uh, the Earthsea Dropout, 2004. Uh, I miss the old Kanye, straight from the gold Kanye. Back when he said Bush don't care about black people. Uh, or did he say George Bush? Was it the full name, or was it? What if he just? Man, I'm thinking like the idea of calling like presidents and other figures by their like first name only. How like awful does that sound? George. Hmm. Barack. Hmm. I guess Hillary Clinton. Oh, that's interesting. That could be because of two reasons. I like I say the first name right. It could be just be like internalized certain thing, and then whatchamacallit. Oh my god, hi Barack. Oh fuck Barack. Damn. Okay, sorry. What I'm basically getting at is, does anyone call Andrew Hussie just Andrew? Is that an okay thing to do? Can I refer to like Andrew Hussie as just Andrew? Like, oh, you ever read that story by Andrew? Homestuck? Huh. We call Andrew Andrew, yeah. Let my head can. The early December birthdays of the gods are a holiday. I think Andrew is preferred, to be honest, these days. Dang. Okay. I guess that feels so weird. It feels weird to me to say that. I look online, I see either the full name or Hussie. I talk to people, I hear Hussie. Could just be the small group I'm in. Hmm. I just give him my own nickname. Pretend I know the guy and call him Drew. Know the Wow. Hmm. Oh, I'm too lost. Yeah, the clown. Oh, I was just right here. Hmm. Yes, the first thing I did immediate. Yes. Hmm. Yes, the first thing I did immediately after screaming into a pillow was to call my acquaintance at the paper. Now that she isn't running, it doesn't seem very important, however. Actually, I'm not terribly interested in politics at all. Without ang- anger motivating me, I began to think about how it's probably very irresponsible for any of us to use our influence in such a way. I agree. In fact, I just assumed that most of us had arrived at such a conclusion. Not Jane, apparently, or Dave. I'm sorry to say. Damn. I mean, it's not. I feel like you don't have to. This isn't the only conclusion you come up with. What? Damn. Jeez. Femme clown Nonberry. Last I knew, got the stylish looks going over on Instagram. One of my friends actually sent me a picture of them, of her, them. I don't know. I was told they go by whatever, but unless it's been updated again, been updated. Sorry, the idea, just that statement that I said just made me laugh. I love this actually. Like, this what I'm saying I love is irrelevant to this. Uh, I'll, uh, I'll have this on the screen for a second. I need the thirst trap up here. Oh, oh, I'm looking in the wrong uh discard. That's why I couldn't find it. Oh yeah. The Ada Wong cosplay is so pretty. Any pronouns, yeah. Updated LMAO. I like the 8. That's good. I did not see an Ada Wong cosplay. Now I am. They are. Is it just pure? No, it can't just be purely thirst trap content, can it? Wow. Oh, yeah, it's not. Yeah. Oh, who's this? Uh, I sent this, and then I mentioned how I actually kind of hate this outfit just because of the pants. The pants ruin this whole thing in my mind. That's all I look at when I look at this one. Is their pants. D Clussy is a username. What a username. Sometimes I think it would have been better if they waited a while before traveling forward in time to sort things out, but then I generally wonder if it would have been an improvement of any kind. Fair. I'm jealous of the makeup, not gonna lie. Jealous of the makeup. Mhm. What did I say? My friend showed me the picture. Oh, they looked like Hussie looked like you could be like a hmm, like a different version of the crow in a universe. I I should watch the crow again. God, I hate those pants. I like this though. Uh, Maybe just because it has ruffles. If it has ruffles or anything like that, I like it. There, yes, there we go. Irrelevant images to this. What I'm going through right now. I like these two. These two did win me over. Yes. I think the gods kind of needed help to help the life on their planets, but also not get used, but not using the influence of godhood. Oh, um, some boring late game stuff though. I mean, imagine beating a game and not doing anything, not doing anything cool like that. No. Uh, there's a third member of their social group who definitely hasn't arrived at the conclusion that his power and influence should be m- meted, 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 meted. I've actually never read this word. What is this to give out measure to dole out responsibly either? Neither of them speak his name. However, for some reason it feels like a shadow passing over the sun. A brief spike of pain flickers through Rose's head, a bolt that strikes between her eyes and splinters out. There is color and light behind it, a vision that tears through the material reality in front of her and gives her a brief glimpse into a parallel reality where things are very different. Oh my gosh. I'm not gonna lie. If 13 is typical age for suburb social group, players to enter the game and create universe, is it any wonder gods are so messed up? Ah, it's just humans though. I guess just creatures. I don't know like the average like suburb game actually is. Do they state that? I'm trying to think. One session was 13. No, one session was 3 months. One session was a day. One session was a little bit. I never got to grow up in normal human experiences. For a second, I thought Rose was gonna go trickster mode. I might low key cry if I see Rose in trickster mode. Just wouldn't feel right. Turning Russell's hair, carrying sweet reality. Right, okay. It's gone as soon as she notices it. The image never materializes. She ties off the last row of her scarf and unwinds her knitting needle from the wool, a serene smile tugging at her lips. Since waking up in the hospital, she had stopped worrying altogether about what might be happening in splintered timelines. She had stopped worrying, in fact, about almost anything at all. A pleasant breeze rustles through her hair, carrying the sweet scent of early spring from the mouth of the chasm. Rose closes her eyes for a moment and breathes it in. Takes just 1 minute at a time. A day can be filled with hundreds of perfect moments. Oh, oh, not that everything is good about growing up IRL, but they certainly miss some formative experiences, I would say. LMAO fair. And while the alpha kids were messed up in the moment, we got to see them. LOL. I mean, if you think about it, though, they were all just kids on the internet, probably overly on the internet. Maybe this was the better outcome. Maybe they're better than what they would have turned out to be. Dave would have been a Dave would have been on the farms, I guess. Uh, John and Jane probably had the least fucked upbringing. Yeah, John for sure. Jane was like being like had assassins, was being trying to be assassinated. I don't know about that one, but she is rich. I have a I have a prejudice against rich people. I think if I yeah I can say that yeah. True, besides the better witch stuff. John for sure though. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. 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 Well, what, whatever inconvenient party ruining opinions Dave and Jane might have about about the economic future of our planet, it's all in the past. I have a very good feeling about where things are going now. I see. So are you the I see. So are you the seer now? No, but I can make predictions based on existing evidence. And if I can spend every day like this doing the work that I was born to do with the person I am most fond of in the world by my side, I believe that I can handle anything. Hmm, did you really use dialogue like that to win my hearts? Or are we getting complacent and incredibly uncool in our old age? Ah, damn. Okay, Rose. Maybe epilogues Rose is okay for Kanaya. Maybe I treated you too hard. Maybe. We all don't we all feel like man, I don't feel like I feel like some people I know don't though. Not enough. But that's a bird. If they were living in their homes, Jade and Jake would have never met another human. Jade would have met another human. Jake? Maybe. Maybe. Oh god, yeah, I forgot about that. They just be out there alone until they make a boat or back teleports or GCAT or whatever. He's always asked the question, what the fuck is the economy with what is the economy with infinite resources? Um it's I mean like low key, it's just kinda how the normal economy works. So I don't think the infinite resources thing is the issue in what they're going at in here. Three of the four alpha kids grew up in isolation, and two of that three had some sort of care up care up in a certain extent, and one was completely isolated with no form of interaction with any living being, whatever the domineering gods wanted to be given the circumstances. Yeah. But unrelated, but please heed my warning. Do not order paradoxal pizza. Hmm. I'm convinced you to marry me. I don't think that I am obligated to be cool anymore. Shit. They get it. Ah. Mm. Kanaya, you're the coolest chick I know. What are you doing with your hands? Damn, she don't know. They don't know air quotes at this point. Oh, just one of these. Please don't tell me you're attempting to do the Strider thing. Oh, never mind. The thing he does where he pretends to operate an invisible record player. Oh, no, that's different. Never mind. God, who's the cool one now? Well, it sure isn't you, ma'am, and ma'am's wife. Banks closed, ladies. Ma'am and ma'am. Mm. Ah, ah. Bars. Mm. 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 Uh. Ma'am, ma'am, and ma'am's wife. Banks closed, ladies. The first egg is hatching already. Kanaya twirls on her heels, skin flickering bright as she lifts her skirt and jumps into the breeding pits. Rose sets down her needles and follows, walking along the edge of the pits to the place closest to the eggs. She crouches to watch the miracle of life begin. She's never taken the time to come down here before and sees the grub hatch, probably because she's been too busy diminishing melodramatically on the couch to take an active interest in her wife's life calling. The grub is already chewing through the chitin shell, with all of its little legs moving synonymously in offbeat concert. Ah, Swiffer is sniffling. She makes the motion, wiping away a tear, somewhat cartoonishly. Golly gee, oh my, this part always makes me tear up. Always. Kanaya dips down to help the grub out of the shell. Her skirt trails through the puddle of birthing jelly, but she doesn't seem to care. There's an odd expression lighting up her face, in addition to the literal light emanating from her skin. She tears away the last chunk of the shell. It's mottled and rough like a rock on the outside, but has a layer beneath like mulched flesh. Kanaya's hand. Kanaya's hands are soaked blue with bloody yolk. When she finally, that's a, fi- finally lifts the grub and holds it up to the light. Rose, look. Rose looks. I read this part. I'm interested. Rose looks. All trolls grubs appear kind of samey, but this one has a familiar look about her. Asymmetric horns, one crescent, the other harpoon-like, amused mane of hair, and a mischievous glint in her beady little eyes, particularly the one with 7 pupils. Ooh. Vriska? Oh shit. Damn. Alternate peak? Next generation peak is here? I'm gonna look at chat for a second. Its sliding scale. Gods are either extremely controlling or signaling hands off to the point of neglect. Risk jump scare. Pretty close. A reasonable genetic approximation. This brood has been utilizing a slurry consisting of genes from our original group of 12 trolls. Mostly this results in unique individuals, but sometimes very close copies occur, as with the case of ancestral. Oh, wait. Descendancy. Oh. So Vriska would be this troll's ancestor. Yes. Wow. Rose, I think this is a sign. A sign of what? Haven't we been talking about adopting a grub? Ooh, damn. Can I even can I handle that? The peak of the next generation. Homestuck, the next generation. Damn. Why don't they call it that? Oh, probably because copyright stuff. Eventually, yes. But a natural born grub? Don't you think it will be somewhat awkward? Us raising a clone of your sort of ex? What happens when Vriska comes back? What do we say to her? Rose, Vriska is dead, so it doesn't really matter. Is she dead, though? Absolutely. There are two things of which I have no doubt, that you and I are going to be happy for the rest of our lives, and that we are never, ever going to see Vriska again. Oh my god. Oh my god. I hope you're telling the truth in some extent. Adopts a genetic copy of her ex love interest. Wow. It's probably something like that on like I was gonna say Wattpad. I have Wattpad on my mind because of something that happened with a Hollow Live member. No, Hollow Stars member. Hollow Stars being that like male VTubing group. Um, one of their members is moving to Japan to live there, and apparently they somehow are the house they are to live in is right next to the house of their ex. This is like this is such a great rom com setup in real life, and that's on my mind for Wattpad. Uh, am I getting Snapchat? I don't use Snapchat. Oh. And this scrub can be considered a proper descendant in Homestuck proper. They weren't really ancestors slash descendants because ectobiology and scrat stuff was involved. Baby Vrisco wiggles her six talons. Kanaya cradles the little grub against her chest and pokes it in the nose. The grub reacts by blowing a bubble of bright cerulean. Oh, I hit the mic. Oh, I'm sorry. Ah. Um, oh my god, I don't think I had a noise gate set up. Wow. There was like a piece of dust fell from my fan above me, and I like saw it, so I tried to like catch it, and I slammed my mic. Wow, I gotta dust my fan, my ceiling fan. Okay. Huh. Oh, okay. Um. Ooh, yes, yes, yes. Cerulean yolk membrane out from its lips. To her own surprise, the sight melts Rose's heart in an instant. The emotion that hits her feels like one of her old visions. Suddenly, she can see her and Kanaya's future so clearly, like a map rolled out at her feet and stretching far into the horizon. Kanaya's right. Vriska is dead. Oh wait, that's like a Tekken reference, but like Heihachi Mishima is dead. Then he's not dead. And despite everything, she died a hero. Briscoe was a complicated figure of contrasting extremes. Her heroic actions were matched in scale only by her monstrous ones, and since no one had actually witnessed her end, it was impossible to say which side of the pendulum swung and judged her death heroic or just. It would be a fitting memorial for her and Kanaya to raise a version of Vriska who would be given every chance to make good on her noble characteristics, a true symbolic redemption arc. Something about the thought appeals to Rose's taste for the dramatic flourish. Uh, it would be proof that this was all worth it in the end. The destruction of multiple universes, the death of Kanaya's friends, the circuitous rites of suffering experienced by the nearly infinite splintered versions of every being to inhabit paradox space. Rose loves her wife fiercely in this moment, the new mother of her species, framed in a literal halo of light. She can't contain her excitement. She leaps into the pit with Kanaya and runs to embrace her, not caring about the irreversible rainbow colored stains that she's smearing into her dress. Oh, Kanaya, you're right. We are going to be astonishingly happy. Boom. Damn. Ugh. Hmm. 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 Aren't you guys happy to get out of the house for once? Jade's tail swishes back and forth under her striped skirt as she takes a great big sniff of the fresh air outside air. It's early evening on the outskirts of the Troll Kingdom. One by one, neon bright windows are lighting up on the hives in the distance. Karkat is still shielding his eyes against the dying strain of the sunset. His shoulders are scrunched up so high that his cheeks disappear into his turtleneck. Hmm. Uh, First mention of Jade's tale, like technically a retcon. Did she not have a tail? Wait, what? Wait, where's a good page with her at it? Uh, like, I guess the bucket one's a good one, right? Oh, I guess you can't tell because she's in the kind of outfit she's in. Okay. Dang. Dang. Okay. Uh, uh sorry about that. Apologies. I just want to see if she had a tail. Okay. Is there a tail until now? But this is fine. I'll believe you this one time. Again, I guess. So not the one time. Hmm. 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 No, actually, I don't get what's so great about it. I can see the same bullshit from the comfort of my house. Check it out. A giant billboard of Jake English complete with a gyrating mechanical ass. What a totally necessary thing. A thing to shove right into my gander bulbs. Definitely couldn't have lived without seeing that. Oh, I need this up there now. Hmm. You're a meshy. You're a meshy. You're a meshy. You're a meshy.
Hey, Kuwabara, you're conscious. I'm not used to that.
That was a cheap shot last. Yeah. Wondering why Hussie didn't just make them kiss in that one Act 6, Act 6, Act 5 conversation. Because you need to build up to the kiss for post Homestuck. Um, you know, because once they kiss, you're no longer as invested into the story. It's like if they become like an actual thing, it's they become a real relationship in certain stories. It's just kind of ruins the vibes. Like Rent a Girlfriend, right? That's I think is still going, and I don't think they're a couple yet. So it's like a key to success. Uh, hmm, hmm. Dude, you're a meshy dude. Okay, don't pretend you don't spend at least 15% of your day ogling Jake's ass on the television anyway. In fact, you're doing it right now. Well, I can't help it, Dave. It's right fucking there. Oh my god. Are the mechanical glues on that billboard actually padded with plush to make them more lifelike? Lifelike. Yeah, yeah. See, crazed fans kept climbing the billboard to cop a feel, so Dirk designed the second run of them to have an accurate recreation of Jake's butt density. He did what? It's wild, dude. It's like exactly on spot on. Bucky's damn, damn. Dave and Dirk fondling Jake's ass, each one on a cheek, huh? Wait, holy fuck! Have you actually touched Jake's ass? Uh, Rent a Girlfriend is not a good example of romance after the confession. Uh, I read Rent a Girlfriend up to 100 some chapters, and fuck, I can't vouch for anything past that. But it's a good ride to at least 140 some chapters, at least. You're a meshy. I mean, not necessarily on purpose, but who hasn't? Like, I wouldn't say it's so much that I touched his ass. It's more like his ass copped the feel of my sweaty palm one time, and my poor fingers haven't been the same since. Sometimes I wake up from a fevered sleep and find my reluctant groping hand huddled in the corner of my bed all shaking and shit. The mind represses, but the body remembers. I've thought about taking my hand to a psychologist, but I don't think the little guy's ready to talk about it yet. Anyway, have you seriously never touched it? Damn. I haven't. Not even by accident, like brushing by in a crowded elevator. No. I don't spend a lot of time standing in elevators with Jake fucking Inwix, for that matter, doing much of anything with the idiot, as you well know. What I'm hearing is you've tragically never touched his ass, and it's a bit of a sore subject with you. Is that why you're so obsessed with it? Do you want to touch it? Shit can be arranged, my dude. Here, I'll text Dirk right now. I bet he can pencil you in to cop a feel sometime next week. No, I don't want to. Put your phone the fuck away. We are never having a playdate with Dirk and Jake again, especially not one arranged for the express purpose of assaulting one of them. Dude, you're a meshy dude. Jake lives for this shit. It's not an assault if his ass is begging for it. Wait, wow, that sounded bad. Yeah, that did sound kind of bad, Dave. Uh, let's strike that one from the record. Anyway, it's not a problem. He literally will be delighted to hear you want to spend time with him for some insane reason. Stop texting right now. Oh my gosh. Karkat tries to tear Dave's phone out from his hand, but Dave simply levitates several inches off the ground to hold it. Damn. That's pretty cute. Several inches off the ground to hold it just out of jumping distance. Jade, pouting a bit, glides in between them and uses her space powers to teleport Dave's phone out from the center of his traumatized palm and into the pocket of her sweater. So many human rights violations in a single phrase. And we're not even halfway through. Hey, can we focus here? Jake's ass isn't the one you should be talking about right now. Oh my god, Jade, do you ever fucking stop? I don't care about your ass either. I've seen it about as many times as I've seen Jake's. The novelty has worn off, assuming if there was even much to begin with. You tell her, Carcat. You tell her. Jade leers at the boy who may have just implied her ass was nothing to write home about. Her canines are longer and sharper than a normal human's, making her grin seem more predatory in nature, especially when she wants it to be. Carcat shivers at the sight of it. That's not what I'm talking about. Jade grabs Carcat's right hand and then Dave's left one, and she begins to pull them towards each other. Both boys recoil, but she is much stronger than them. You're a meshy, Jade. Come on, what are you? She's doing it. She's making it happen. This is a date, dummies. No, stop. Dude. Carcat makes a fist so tight that his numbly fingernails pinch his skin. Dave does the opposite. He makes a flat palm and raises it, as if to stop traffic. No, let me show you. You have to turn it flipwise. She turns Dave's hand so it's cupping Carcat's angry little fist in its palm. When she pries Carcat's fingers open finally, they snap close around Dave's almost automatically. Carcat's eyes go a little light bulb like. Dave's gone, pale and a bit sweaty. Jade claps, then makes a rectangle with her thumbs and forefingers framing her hand holding besties at the center of it. She's taking a picture with her brain right now, Dave and Carcat being all shy and intimate, with the romantic backdrop of a brilliant twilight behind them. A pretty portrait. Put her in the middle of it. It and it's a work of art. Just what she wants the rest of her life to be. After all, where would these two pitiful beta boys without her be without her? Uh, these two boy failures. Damn. I didn't think of Dave as a boy failure. Damn. I really like Jay trying to force Dave Cat a bit, even if she also wants a piece of the puzzle. See, I don't mind at all. I would never break up what you do have. I'm just trying to make it better. With a satisfied smile, Jade dips under her arms and hooks her hands around either waist, pulling Dave and Karkat up flush against her. Their fingers remain entwined behind her back. She begins walking them down the ridge of the hill, beaming brighter than the first stars in the sky. See, isn't this just perfect? It could be like this all the time, you know. The three of us in every combination or whatever conversation combinations you two are comfortable with. Positions too. Dave has gone catonic. Carcat just as quiet, but it's a quiet that's as loud and alarmed as his actual voice. He's got his head turned away from the situation he's been forced into. As far as it will go, he's concentrating so hard on looking elsewhere that he trips over a rock and is only saved by Jade picking the three of them off the ground as she takes flight. Karkak's legs flail. Well, his feet go from underneath him. Oh shit. It's like, oh, no! I meant to do that. Wow. There we go. His legs are doing like that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I gotta find where I was at. To twine. Don't do that. You know I fucking hate that. Jade sets them back on the ground, cackling like the witch she is. Karkat still won't look at her. She stops laughing abruptly, sensing that her plan isn't going as well as she'd hoped. She views the boys as a broken electrical circuit and herself as the conductor between the two charged points. She just needs to maneuver it into the correct configuration, like she did with their hands. She does a few quick calculations in her head, refusing to give up on her assumption that relationship issues can be solved the same way math problems can. Damn, Jade. Don't worry, Karkat. There's nothing to be scared of. We'll just take care of you. Right, Dave? Dave doesn't answer. She she answers for him by leaning down the off a planting a dry, affectionate kiss on Karkat's neck. He yelps and leaps away like he's been scalded by a burning iron, liberating himself from the deeply uncomfortable hug triad. Damn, Jade. Damn, Jade. Okay, that is it. I am drawing a fucking line in the sand right now, right here and now. Jade, you will cease this endless violation of my person with your mouth, fingers, and occasionally your fucking tail. I am not a piece of meat that you can brutally and viciously molest whenever you're bored. Brutally and viciously? All right, it's possible I'm overreacting, but that's my fucking right as a free and autonomous person with a certain degree of fundamental bodily sovereignty endowed to him by the gods of motherfucking consent. Mm-hmm. But I hope you understand what I'm getting at here, which is that I want you to stop doing shit like this, like kissing me without asking permission first. Carquette, you're absolutely right, and I couldn't agree with you more on the issue of consent as everyone who's gotten to know me well enough is perfectly aware. But I'm not the one who kissed you, silly. What? Wha Jade covers her mouth coquishly and winks. Coquettishly? Is that how you pronounce that one? It was Dave! Dave turns around, shoulders going rigid, and eyes popping open like he's just awoken from one of the terrible sweaty nightmares he was projecting onto his hand earlier. You're a meshy. What? You kissed Karkat, finally. No. No, I didn't. Why would I? Dave hesitates. Jade is giddy with anticipation. She couldn't possibly look more pleased by her own handiwork. I have no idea what you're talking about. I would never. You're whack, Jade. I'm not. Whack. Why would I kiss Karkat? Why would I kiss Karkat? I've never even thought about kissing Karkat. How would you even fucking do it? He's so petite. I'm I'm what? You're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna admit, that was a weird thing to say and has got dick all to do with your kissability. God damn it, can we stop talking about this yet? What I mean is like, how could somebody kiss this guy like anybody when his teeth are so when my teeth are fucking what? Dude, you're a meshy dude. They're just like huge and not always in your mouth. So like, how would a guy get his tongue in there? Tongue? Karkat begins hyperventilating and momentarily forgets his beef with Jade, long enough to lean on her to prevent himself from toppling over. You have to be really careful to like, I mean, if you were intending to kiss Karkat, I mean, it's not like I've put any thought into this, but you'd have to be so careful, like just so totally gentle in your approach to it because he's so enough. Cease, I command you. You know, like this. IDK, I'm just spitballing, and this is literally the first time the thought has like ever popped in my head. But upon earnest reflection, I don't know if I'm up to the task. Dave opened Dave's mouth. Dave's mouth hangs open a bit. His gaze flits with flits from Karkat to Jade's and back again. His palms are wet, but his mouth is dry. I'm not. I was never. We're not. Dave's mumbling protest slows to a stop. Actually, you know what? I don't have time for this. Peace, dudes. Did I miss anything? I do like Dave. Yeah, also teleport. Sure, Dave is totally the first time you've thought about this. I trust Dave. This is totally normal things you say after never thinking about this ever. Dave ollies the fuck out of there. Flash stepping between 1 second to the next, disappearing 30 seconds into the future with the gusto of a piece of garbage flying into the fucking sun. Jade stares at him, blinking at the glare of the after image he left behind. It's a glimmering slice of ultraviolet that only she can see. It lingers in unstable particles between the air. She huffs and puts her hands on her hips. Wow, rude. I forget sometimes how immature Dave can be. Well, Karkat, I guess it's just us. You still want to go split a plateau of grub spaghetti at the noodle barn? Karkat, when she turns to address him, it's is staring at her slack jaw. He takes a step back, but isn't watching where he puts his foot. His heel goes into a dip in the hill and goes stumbling backwards, feet overhead. Ah, fuck, Jade. Would you fuck out a little help, maybe? Ah. The little barn sounds like some adventure time. Jade. Jade could probably catch him. Actually, she could easily do it, but it doesn't seem like the kind of favor you should do in a fledgling kismet. So instead, she watches him roll all the way to the foot of the hill, knees and elbows bouncing around, all ragdolled and furious as he swears up a storm. He hits the ground back first and just lays there for a few minutes, completely owned. He watches the darkening sky with a hollow look on his face for at least an entire minute. Then he slowly pulls himself to his feet and brushes the brambles off his pants. He points up the hill, and Jade shouts. Oh, at Jade and shouts. He shouts. Hmm. Oh my god. I would like. What would you call somebody? Like we call furries, right? What would you call like a furry but to like trolls? Is it there has to be a term for that. Like what is that called? What that? Hmm. Jay just wants to be a troll. OMG. No, that angle doesn't sound funny. Hmm. I'll work on it. I'll work on it. For the record, just so we're both clear, this is why I hate leaving the fucking house. He absconds, limping a little and rubbing the left side of his ass, which unfortunately for him affords nowhere near the level of petting as Jake's legendary backside. Jade puffs out both of her cheeks and stares at him. Well, I guess I'm eating grub spaghetti alone. Again. uh, damn. These three are a mess. Oh my god, it's Terezi. Hmm. 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 Where even are you? And why haven't you sliced Makara in half yet?
He smells too bad. I don't think I want to risk getting that close to him until he takes a bath. Even then, I'd rather not. As for where I am, I'm not sure you would believe me if I told you.
I bet I would. I bet I would.
Okay, I'm on a date.
Ow, ow.
Don't LOL at me.
I can't help it. I can't help it. It's hilarious. Who are you on a date with?
Why don't you take a guess?
Okay. It's obviously Roxy.
Oh,
What's wrong? You asked me to guess, so I guessed.
I'm just wondering if I was really that obvious.
Yeah, John. We are not idiots. We can all do the math on this. It's not like you were going to fuck your human mom or human sister, and you're not a homosexual, which takes Strider dick out of the question. And Kanai is the only girl troll left, and she's a lesbian married one of the two remaining sibling human females. Oh, and Jake's is a double threat, a human dad with a human dick. So by process of elimination, of course, you're going to fall in love with Roxy.
Wait,
Post retcon Jade has far less social and emotional experience with people her own age due to spending 3 years alone on the ship. See, that's you also gotta think about this. She was also big on the Ghostbusters MMO. Truly, gamers just don't know what they're doing. It's truly the gamers. The gamer in here doesn't understand. Wow, so far Terezi has been the worst character here. You're like Roxy Gem. Good ship, and yeah, it's going to be the only one able to be Roxy. Love. Is it how John feels about Roxy? He glances around at this beautiful restaurant she's taken him to. Marble walls, a domed ceiling, alien plants growing up the scaffolding to the second floor. It's lit by a cobweb of ultra thin clear wire, strung with lights so that it looks like there are fireflies suspended above the fake night sky. It's a good place to fall in love. Probably. He turns his head to see that Gamzee has stepped outside and now monitors the date with his face pressed against the window. He's smearing his disgusting makeup against the glass without the slightest concern for hmm, property. John accidentally makes eye contact with him, and Gamzee gives him a thumbs up. A chill runs down John's spine. Well, he goes back to his conversation with Terezi. Regular John Jane, at least dated. No, the Ghostbuster Mill might have blown up with the. Oh shit! It probably did blow up with the house. Damn, she didn't even have the MMO. Oh, damn. Damn, that means none of those low guys played it either. Then. Damn. Damn. Wait. Okay. Damn, this universe has a fucked up Casey, man. Damn. This is how far into the journey the West blew up. Yeah. Damn, that's an evil timeline of my if the lad Casey never got to play. Did Casey play? I feel like they all played, right? I'm waiting. Still waiting. Egbert, are you there? Can I go now?
yeah, I just really had to think about that for a second. Do you really think I'm in love with her?
How the hell? How the hell would I know that? I'm not a mind reader.
Oh, aren't you? I thought that's what your mind thingy powers did.
Ha 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 ha. No, I'm just an exceptionally good read of. No, I'm just an exceptionally good read of people. Okay. Not that I would have to be to tell you that you've been flushed for Roxy since you met her.
Yeah, I guess that's true. How do you think she feels about me?
If you're out on a date with her, I don't think that I'm the one you should be asking that question.
I mean, would that be would that be an okay thing to ask her? That seems kind of, I don't know, dopey.
John, I hate to tell you this, but there's not much you could do at this point to increase your dopiness attribute. You've already pretty much maxed the dork stat, and I can only imagine that the positive correlation between your continued existence and the amount of sheer dweebiness you emit has been retained, expected equilibrium in the time that I've been gone.
Jeez, you've always known what to say to people in their hour of need, Terezi. I'm so glad I decided to talk to you.
You should be glad I'm doing you a big favor as usual this year, magnanimous, magnanimously. Why does Leet speak make it so much harder? Descending from her mountain and desi- dying, dining to give the hapless human peerless advice.
Imagine me rolling my eyes in my heart right now because that's what I'm doing.
Noted. But trust me, the worst thing you can do when attempting to initiate a flush relationship is to be evasive. Roxy is actually incredibly difficult to read, but I think she's the last person who would ever try to jerk you around. She appreciates you being upfront. The only thing I wonder is what happened with Calliope. They seem so happy.
Yeah, that's been bothering me too. Kelly was actually the one who convinced me to stay. Roxy was all over me the moment I said I wasn't going.
Going where? Going where?
Oh, to fight Lord English.
You weren't supposed to fight Lord English,
Yeah, I guess.
but you decided not to?
Look, it's a long story. Actually, it's not. But that's not why I texted you. I'll tell you some other time. Right now, what I think I need to figure out is how I feel about the whole Calliope thing. I'm not afraid to ask Roxy how she feels about me. I guess. But I think that I am afraid to ask about.
Roxy finally comes back from the restroom. He hears her heels click clacking on the floor and shoves his phone into his pocket in a panic. Before he can follow up on the last line of his message, he doesn't know why he doesn't have panic. It's not like he's doing anything wrong. In fact, tapping away on the phone when someone leaves you alone at a table is completely and totally normal. Maybe it's just that it's kind of weird to be talking to a girl under the table while on a date with a completely different girl, no matter what his respective relationship with those two girls might be. His internal Rose voice tisks at him for having such gender essentialist thoughts. He wonders if he'd feel quite as guilty if he were talking to Rose under the table instead of to Rezi. Probably not. Which is a whole tangle of stuff he doesn't even want to think about. He shoots Roxy a big, bright grin when she slips into her seat. She grins back. He is genuinely glad to be there here. Roxy's beautiful. The restaurant is beautiful. It feels like he's fumbling at something existentially beautiful here. There's something about the way she's looking at him that makes him glad he got out of bed today. It makes him, for the first time in years, excited about the idea that the future is a thing that exists. OMG. Sorry for taking so long. Had to reapply the face. You know how it is. Actually, you probably don't. But let me tell you, makeup's a bitch. It kind of is. No, it just is.
Roxy, you don't have to do all that for me. I'm basically a schlub these days. I don't care if you wear makeup or not. You're pretty either way. You know that, right?
Oh, Don't worry, it's not for you, Law. But that's sweet as hell. I appreciate the sentiment.
Oh, that's cool. Why do you date it then?
John, do you ever think about like gender?
Uh, not really, I guess. But I don't think girls should feel like they have to wear makeup just because they're girls.
Law. LOL, that's not what I'm getting at.
What do you mean then? Are you, like,
Like what?
I don't know. I don't really know what we're talking about.
LOL, IDRK either, I guess. Anyway, we don't gotta get super into this. This isn't really the setting. I don't know if you've noticed, but this place is way too fancy for me. LMFAO. How do I say it like that? I feel I was all trying to impress you with how I'm classy as fuck, but now I feel like we're gonna have to skip out on the check.
Even though we've got infinite money?
Yeah, just the feeling I get. Like this fancy dress is a costume. Like I'm just play acting at being a grown up woman.
Yeah, I know that feeling. But even our adults.
Good question.
When I was a kid, I just thought about adulthood was something that happened to you automatically, I think. Like the moment I turned 18, a briefcase would appear in my hand and I'd have to it all figured out, just like my dad seemed to. I can't believe I'm 23 and still a huge loser. I wonder if my dad ever thought that way about himself, like he was just some kind of kid totally messing everything up, but trying to keep up appearances anyway.
I've actually had like a conversation with my father, like kind of like this, and I will say, damn, I was kind of a huge loser compared to my father in certain and like, damn, a lot of people, kind of. Uh, I blame I blame TikTok. There we go.
Don't say that about yourself, dummy.
So, I'm a dummy, but I shouldn't call myself dummy.
OMG, you know what I meant.
Roxy. Okay, well, actually, they're down there. I can do this again. Roxy runs one of her thin fingers around the inside rim of her water glass. It makes a very quiet squeaking noise that he can hear over the mumbled conversation around him because they're sitting so very close. Her lashes look about twice as long in the low, pale light. They shadow her eyes so that he can't read her expression.
You know, I didn't even know any adults when I was a kid. So I got nothing except the legends of how my universe rose and Dave my universes rose and Dave died, I guess. But that's not exactly a useful example in this situation.
I don't know. I think sacrificing yourself to take down a brutal cloud dictatorship is a pretty good life lesson to internalize in any situation.
LOL. Yeah, God forbid, but I mean, my idea of a date for the longest time was drinking a whole bottle of wine alone while crying in front of my laptop screen.
Oh my god. Roxy, you're so real.
Oh, same, actually, minus the wine and the computer screen. Haha.
That's like extra. That's like more sad, actually. Hmm.
Just you and your brain contemplating the infinite loneliness of singular consciousness in a vast cold universe?
Something like that.
Damn, wait, actually. Damn, that's like high school me. Oh,
So I guess neither of us are very good at this, huh?
That's cool with me. Zero expectations means we got nowhere to go but up.
I'll toast to that.
John lifts his glass as a cute and cliche. John lifts his glass as a cute and cliche thing to do, expecting no reciprocation. But she laughs and actually humors him. The glass clink together clumsily. The water gets all over the complimentary breadsticks. She starts laughing harder.
Oh, John, why didn't we do this sooner? I love spending time with you. You know? It's weird to say. No one else has ever made me feel like this.
For some reason, those words make the pit in his stomach grow. He lets out a nervous giggle. His arms start to shake so violently that he gets even more water on the free breadsticks. Oh boy. He's sweating under the collar. It's a panic, like what he felt when Roxy almost caught him texting to Resi under the table, except in reverse. What about Calliope, he thinks. John can't tell what Roxy is thinking. She's so warm and open and inviting. But when John looks into her eyes, it's almost like staring into Oh, WTF behind you. None of these people actually got to live as kids and teenagers before they grew up into adults, yeah. He whips his head around to see Dave. He's running down the street, looking back and forth like a haunted man. He spots John and freezes for a moment, obviously trying to compose himself. No one goes still quite. No one goes still quite like a Strider. He brushes past Gamzee, who is still glued to the window to spy on the date, and swaggers into the restaurant. The look on his face seems to suggest he's about to throw up. He was about to throw up. But he keeps it together. His entrance is so smooth that all the dining Carpacians in the vicinity immediately stop talking and stare at him as he glides to the table. Dave sets his hand just in front of the free breadsticks and angles a look at John through the panels of his shades. Oh, yeah. Did Dave swap did Dave swap glasses in End of Homestuck? I can look at the credits, I guess. I guess the credits don't really matter, right? Snapchat? Any of these have Dave in it? They still have the same glasses. No, none of these people actually got a lip law. And they still can't see a therapist that's trustworthy or yeah. Without a therapist themselves, yeah. Okay. Does Dave have the Kanye West glasses nowadays? To the panels of his shades? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, because panels are another thing. I was thinking of another. For some reason, I thought panels was a different thing. I thought panels of like a slightly different term. Now I'm thinking what panels fully mean. Okay, yeah. I had like a thought in my head. Damn. A thought I wanted to be true. Mm-hmm. He looks like he hasn't slept. But it's hard to tell with Dave. He's out of breath. Mm. You're a meshy. Hey, dude, and Roxy. Rather, hey, dudes. Starting to imply that dude wasn't a gender neutral term because it totally is. Anyone can be a dude if they really want. That's part of the beauty of living in this brand new world with none of the baggage our old world had, like very gender and sexually and relationship only involving a very specific number of people. Dave, you okay? Yeah, totally. When am I not okay? P often actually. Nah, I'm fine. There's absolutely nothing strange or awkward going on in my life at all. Unrelated to anything. I just said, John, I gotta talk to you for a sec.
Okay, go ahead.
No, I mean like outside, in private, where with no one else around. You sure you're okay? Yeah, Mom, I'm fine. Sorry, that was me being sarcastic about how you're all worried over me when I'm just ice fucking cold levels of cool at the moment. Not referencing that you are my literal mom, which I know is all kinds of awkward every single time I do it. Which is a lot, I guess. LMAO, I don't think it's awkward at all.
Oh, cool. Me neither. Mom.
Um, Roxy's right. You seem kind of off right now.
Nah, I just had a sudden need for a bro down. Just an unquenchable thirst to be showered in the flash storm of a righteous bro juice. Damn.
Yikes.
Gotta guzzle that shit down. Gotta guzzle that shit out of it like Gatorade after a sports match. Help me out here. Bro, electrolytes are low. John, just come on, it's important.
Yeah, sure. Roxy, can you find a way to here by yourself for a while?
Yeah, I'll just be here eating breadsticks since we didn't actually order dinner.
Cool. I'll be right back.
Then John wasn't right back. Dave shoves his hands into his pockets and leads John out into the cool evening air. Gamzee offers a double thumbs up as they walk past him, which John fiercely ignores. John does, however, check his phone, subtly, like very demure. But a little desperately, he left Terezi hanging in the middle of a sentence, and he's gotta admit, as much fun as he's been having with Roxy, there's a little annoying little voice screaming at him underneath everything he's done and said tonight that desperately needs to know what Terezi had to say. Behind Dave's back as he leads the way, John swipes the screen to catch up with her answers, smiling conspiratorially. Whoop. 11. Oh, cool. Oh. Where we at? Okay. Dave grabs the sleeve of John's tux in his sweaty palm, and the two of them fly to the top of the nearest tower. John glances at him en route. Sorry. John glances over en route, and the look on Dave's face strikes him as that man of a man condemned to death. The stars stand out along the skyline, so bright in this new world that the outline of every constellation is crisp and clear, even in the middle of the city. Dave cups his hands over his knees and stares straight ahead. Yo, John, what do you think about me and Carcat?
You two are pretty cute together, I guess.
Together? I need you to be way more specific here.
Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, I guess I'd have to say that you're both cute individually when you're with each other, and you make cute friends, which is why you're cute together. Something about it just works. I feel like I'm saying cute a lot here. For the record, I don't mean you're cute as an individual. No offense. Alone, you're just Dave, but together, yeah, you guys are cute.
Damn. Together? You mean like a couple? Dave says this so neutrally that John has no idea how to read it. There we go. Read it.
Yes? That's exactly what I mean?
Why?
Didn't I just explain it? Good friends make good partners. You're similar in all the right ways and different in all the even more right ways. You two balance each other out and keep each other from going off the rails like when you were kids.
Huh?
You were both kind of crazy when we were kids. Again, no offense.
That's not what I'm saying, about.
Oh,
I was saying, because that sure was a coherent Egbertian thesis on the state of the Dave Cat situation.
well, I thought about it that way for a long time. I think it's what everyone else thinks too.
It's so freaking heartwarming. So freaking heartwarming that the first person Dave goes to state emotional turmoil is John. But at the same time, the person he went to is John. You can be surprisingly emotionally intelligent, but also still emotionally insensitive. Dense bag of bricks. John B. John. Where was I at? Oh, right here, yeah.
I don't know. You're a meshy. I don't know. If I'd been thinking about it that way, I wouldn't be in the mess I am right now.
You're in a mess?
Yeah, there's a metric fucking ton of shit about to come down on me because I dragged my heels on doing some serious self-reflection.
Is this just some more stuff about being gay?
Maybe, yeah. Okay, definitely, yeah. It's 110% about being gay.
Thought you'd already worked all this stuff out.
Turns out, it takes a long time to figure out your sexuality after a childhood filled with repression and abuse.
Dave.
I mean, yeah, I woke the hell up to my inner potential for gayness in a big way. But then I just kind of pressed the snooze button and rolled back over because we kind of had to fight all those jacks and also create society.
Holy shit. There's a gay snooze button?
Yeah, man, there's a gay snooze button.
Wow.
Who can 14?
When I was having my gay cool boy awakening, it wasn't a full no homo, but it was at least a quarter no homo. If I hadn't done that then, instead of talking to you about this, I'd be at home right now. Kissing Carcat probably.
I don't get this, Dave. Am I a gay confessor or something? You don't need my blessing to go kiss Carcat. In fact, I was pretty sure you were already kissing Carcat.
Nope.
In that case, as the Lord Pope of Dave's fully awakened gaydom, I give you my blessing to immediately leave and rectify immediately leave and rectify that as soon as possible. Go, my child, and kiss Carcat right on the lips.
Okay, as much as I appreciate how weird a thing that was to say, it's not that simple.
I might not exactly be the expert, but kissing seems pretty easy, John. I'm sure it gets more complicated in the later stages, obviously, but I think you can figure out how you get your lips on his without much trouble.
No, I mean,
Dave makes a couple of truly useless hand gestures.
in the greater fabric of our weird incestuous social group, it might be wrong. It might be the wrong move, I think,
How so?
because Jade.
John bites his lips. His lip. Oh boy. That's a complicated problem, all right. He loves his sister, but she's developed a bad habit of sometimes approaching delicate situations with all the grace of an elephant stumbling around in a dark room.
Right. I almost managed to forget that she was trying to fuck you and Carcat.
Dave snaps his head around to stare John in shock.
Wait, you're a meshy. Wait, you knew about that?
Yeah. Did you not?
Of course I knew about it. I was looking at the whole thing through several complicated layers of conscious denial, but I knew. It's just that you, never leave your house.
Well, it probably helps that Jane literally said the words to me, and I may be paraphrasing here, but hey, John, I'm gonna fuck David Carcat.
WTF, she said that to you. What did you say?
I don't know. It was a while ago. Probably that it was a bad idea, but I thought it was kind of obvious. She's always had a crush on you, Dave.
Yeah, I know.
He sighs and hangs his head, leaning forward with his elbows crossed over his thighs. The angle he's at gives John a good look at his eyes, which are boring a deep, miserable hole to the center of Earth right now.
That's why I think that I should give it a try, I guess.
Give one a try. Dating Jane.
Yeah, and Carcat.
Oh man, Dave. I don't know. That's something I could really blow up in your face.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of freaking out right now, if you didn't notice.
Sorry, dude. It's just. Do you even like Jane?
Of course I do. She's one of my best friends.
No, I mean, do you like her?
Oh my god, John, you're 23 years old. Can you at least pretend to talk like a grown man?
Okay, Dave. God, are you in love with Jane?
Dave doesn't answer. His silence says a lot, John thinks.
Are you in love with Carcat?
That's a big fucking question. That's the biggest fucking question that ever got asked. It's like the Paleolithic megafauna of questions. Like, it's so familiar, but your eyes just glaze over it in denial because it's too fucking big. Why did megalodon sharks need to have such big jaws, John?
To eat smaller sharks?
I've never been so fucking terrified by a question in my entire life. Seriously, my heart is pounding so hard right now that I feel like I'm gonna hurl.
Well, doesn't that answer the question?
Nah, because it's not like I feel nothing for Jade. In fact, I feel a whole lot of things for her. Too many to just tell her off after all this time. I mean, she spent all ugh. I mean, she spent all those years alone on the ship, and I know she missed me. And then Dave Sprite died, or turned into fucking Dave Petter. I was never clear exactly on what happened there. Oh, and God knows he didn't make any attempt to clear the fucking air with her. But when I think about it, neither did I. So maybe I'm just a huge asshole who's been leading her on for like a whole goddamn decade at this point. And if I have been, don't I owe it to her to at least try?
If that's your logic, Dave, then why haven't you been leading? Then haven't you been leading on Carcat too? Doesn't he deserve the same chance? I mean, if you think about it, it's the kind of decision you can lay on another person. Like, why don't you just flip a coin?
Oh shit. There's a solution here, but they might not want that situation either. He tilts his face so that he can give John a look. The corner of his lip quirks ambiguously.
Have you been talking to Terezi? Damn, I thought she ghosted everyone.
Not me, I guess.
Huh. Anyway, I know you thought that sounded like a totally cool thing to say, but I don't really think you grasped the full metaphysical implication of whatever you're quoting there.
Dave sits up and leans back on his palms, his voice sounding lighter in a subtle, almost ethereal way now that the subject's changed to something as easy as metaphysics. He catches John's gaze and makes a rolling gesture with his hand, miming the way a practiced magician would flick a coin over their thumb.
Do you know what a coin flip is? Like, universally, I mean, in the grand scale of all this time, space, infinite string theory bullshit we're always dealing with.
Of course. It's like when you know that you've already made a decision you're reluctant about, and you need an outside force to show you how you really feel.
No, dude, that's dumb. You should know this because you've done the retcon thing.
What does that have to do with the flipping coins?
Okay, so every time you flip a coin, you're creating an alternate timeline, right? One where it lands heads and one where it lands tails. But while the coin is flipping, both possibilities exist simultaneously.
But what if you knew for sure that you'd make the same decision no matter which side landed up?
You can't.
So, it's like the coin never lands then.
Sure.
Then if you dated both Jane and Carcat, it'd be like you're winning the Schrodinger's cat paradox.
Yeah, that's another theoretical paradox that I think you gotta read up on a bit more there, buddy.
I probably won't, but okay.
Fair enough. But yes, metaphysics aside, me dating both Jade and Karka at the same time literally is the issue at hand, and it is that with which I currently and explicitly struggle.
Yeah, sure seems that way.
So,
I don't know, Dave. This is just. It doesn't sound right to me.
John thinks about the speech Rose gave him in the morning on her couch about canon veracity and the validity of non-validity of subjects' actions the further they are away from the intended sequence of events. Something about pillars, what is essential, truth, and relevant. He remembers those three words, but no other contextual remarks which bind them. That conversation seems so very long ago now. I don't think that Dave's actual problem is that he doesn't know who he wants romantically pursue. If or if he wants monogamy or polyamory. Oh my god, why do I struggle to say that word? I was just like I was going like roundabout ways to say it, like fuck up that word. John. Oh wait, no, I read that one.
I mean, it doesn't sound canon.
Not you too. Rose is always going on about Kennen. I don't give a fuck about Kennen.
Then what do you give a fuck about?
Dave sigh.
Dave sighs and runs a hand through his hair.
Do doing the right thing, I guess.
This doesn't seem hard to me at all, Dave. Go home right now and tell Karkin how you feel.
Look, I can't. If I did that, it would be like,
Like what, Dave? Like, would you be really happy and Karkin would also be really happy?
I'm not explaining myself right. I need to. Dave staggers uneasily to his feet, staring way past John like he's looking into the infinity of his own soul right now. John's never seen him so scared, and it's over what seems like a pretty easy choice as far as John's concerned. It sure isn't easy for him, though. John guesses this is what it means to be a friend. It means being the guy who understands when easy isn't actually that easy. I have to talk to Dirk, I think.
Okay.
He hung up on the emotional and the physical attraction is part to distract himself because he wants a person in every quadrant. That's true. John wonders when talking to Dirk has fixed anything for anyone. He's about to ask what exactly it is he needs to talk to Dirk about, but then remembers what he saw when he went back to fetch Gamzee's fridge into the medium. Dirk and Dave hugging on the edge of the roof, sharing something private and mysterious, the sort of thing that can only happen between two people whose personalities are correct in the same way. It's not something John's ever had, so it's not something he can understand. An uncomfortable silence lingered between the two of them. Before John can fill it with some stupid words, he hears Roxy calling up to him from below. He pops his head over the roof and waves at her.
What's up?
Yo, boys. Not to interrupt, but we got kicked out of the restaurant for not ordering.
What, really? What's even the point of being famous if that can happen?
LMAO, I know, right? Told you I wasn't classy enough for the joint. I got all these breadsticks, though, so we can reconvene in the park. Totes romantic. 10 minutes. What do you say?
Sounds good. I'll see you there soon.
She grins up at John with a shimmering, adoring eyes. They're reflecting every star in the sky, all for him. It makes his heart do a weird somersault. It tries to flip frontways, then backwards, and ends up landing on its face instead. He's feeling too many contradictory things right now. When he turns to look at Dave again, he's practically translucent, barely there, half out the door emotionally. John feels like he could just have done more. He could have done more. Like this whole conversation was sand running through his fingers. It itches at the back of his head, the idea that he might have just fucked up Dave's entire life.
I'm sorry I couldn't help.
Nah, dude, it's not your fault.
Dave gives him a light bro punch in the arm and tries to smile.
Enjoy your date.
Damn. We talked to Dirk like once, and he was acting odd. Okay. 148. Do I have time for another page? Oh, yeah, okay. House. Wait, I was at 7. I'm at 11. Hmm. 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 Okay. I have enough time for one more page. Jake wakes up to the unfamiliar feeling of a cheek on his chest and a thigh slung over his stomach. Not that waking up limbs entwined with some fleeting dalliance was an unfamiliar sensation by any means, but this time something seems off. He's afraid to open his eyes because he can't remember the last few days. The very last thing he does remember, if any of his recollections are to be trusted, is corking open a bottle of alchemized merlot at 9 in the morning, as one does, and then doing a brisk session of target practice, which was interrupted by, oh, fuck. Jake's eyes snap open. His ceiling looks the same as it always does, if a bit tizzy, with the eye-splitting headache sending nails of pain through his skull. The gold-flecked flowers carved into his wood-paneled ceiling glitter in the morning light. Jake stares very hard at them because he doesn't want to look down and confirm his worst fears. Ah, yeah. Who hasn't been there though? Just one more putt. I don't blame John for feeling disconnected. It's hard for you to maintain connections if you feel like your friends and family have better options than to fill in emotional support. Given enough time, but only because it's Jane and Jake. SMA. Ah. Good morning. Mm-hmm. Good morning. Oh wait, no. But the worst fears are confirmed for him without him having to do anything, unfortunately, which seems par for the course. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Jane sits up in the bed and stretches her arms over her head. Her body's a perfect hourglass and naked profile. Jake's eyes trace the curve of her spine against his will. They linger in the dip above her hips. Her hair is tousled, and she's not wearing her glasses. Jake actually has to catch his breath at the sight of her. It's not her attractiveness that was ever in the question. It's everything else about the situation which is the problem. Jane, what in the blazes happened? She turns to face him, giggling into her hand. Why, Jake, I would imagine that you are practiced enough at sexual congress at this point that I shouldn't have to explain it to you. Jane, I am quite aware of my reputation, but I am not some loose strumpet who enters into relations thoughtlessly. Oh, lighten up. Jane blinks and touches a hand to her collarbone. She doesn't quite recognize herself. Oh dear. Did you hear what I just said? Lighten up. It's been quite a while since I've thought that way. My, it feels freeing to say. Lighten up, Jake. The election's off. The economy is stable. Dirk is probably never going to talk to us ever again. And we just finally fucked. Oh, oh, oh. Did we indeed fuck? Was it merely playing honky tonky with our digits, or did we do the old gamma hooch? Or even worse, the beard splitting? Ah, I don't know. I don't know what any of that means, Jake, but we definitely did it all. She crawls towards him with a goofy smile, padding along unsteadily because she can't see shit without her spectacles. Jake shoots up in bed and scuttles all the way back until his shoulders hit the frame. Then catches the corner of his eye. He swivels his head around to see the trickster lollipop on his bedside table. Fuck. It sits like evidence at a murder scene beneath an empty body of vodka and far more sets of underwear than the number of people accounted for in the room. Jake says, but Jane shuts him up with a finger over his lips. She slides into his lap and settles her bottom into the space between his thighs. It's a blanket between the lurid parts of their naked bodies, but Jake cannot rightly move unless he wishes to be dearly compromised. He stutters through several objections, but Jane is plucking all his strings quite mercilessly. He feels like a snake about to be necked by a mongoose. Oh, what's the meaning of the lollipop? I thought we agreed never to use trickster mode when we were, unsupervised. What? The lollipop was your idea. I must protest, Jane. It does not seem like something I would agree to in the right state of mind. Well, I'm not sure either of us were exactly in the right state of mind, to be honest. We had quite a bit to drink over the course of a day, and one thing led to another. Led led to partaking in scandalous confections. I don't know what to tell you, Jake. I'm not pulling your leg. In fact, you were the one doing the vigorous leg pulling last night. Ooh. Criminy! Jane's expression falls. She's been feeling quite buoyed after a night of jolly, if inebriated fun, but Jake does not seem to share her enthusiasm. Dear, dear me, dear me. Was that innuendo a bit too much? I'm sorry, I'm not very good at this. No. No, it's not that. Jay and I. All of these feels wrong. Now, I don't want you to get the wrong idea here. You're a dear friend, and I care for you deeply. But I think what happened between us might have merely been a result of profound inebriation. Jake regrets the statement soon as the words leave his mouth. Jane looks absolutely crushed, devastated, like Jake just ripped the rug from underneath her entire universe. What? What? Are you saying everything we did? It meant nothing to you? That that isn't what I meant, Jane. I simply Jane stares up at him, her eyes so bright they're practically clear like tropical water on a sunny day. She looks like girls who looks like girls looks like girls do right before they're about to cry. Jake. Oh, how could he deny her anything? What was I even saying? I'm being terribly foolish. Okay, so this is the part. What? Sure, we may have overdone it a bit on the substance, perhaps. But you know what? To hell with it. I might not remember everything that happened last night, but I'm sure my passions wouldn't lead me astray. You've always been a lovely girl, Jane, and you've been a lovelier woman. Why, it's a surprise this didn't happen sooner. May as well, just go with it. Ha ha. It's not the most rousing speech Jake has ever given, but it seems satisfactory enough for Jane. He releases a tremendously relieved sigh when Jane breaks into a smile. Oh, Jake. He flails when she kisses him. But this time, there's no doubt he hasn't said no. Yep, she trickstered him. I don't know if the implication. Okay, I don't know. Based on the text I'm reading, I don't know if I can say she did that, right? That's rape, Jane. My bad, consensual. My bad, non consensual. Got YouTuber. I'm all, what the fuck? Being Jake English suffering. Like, it's so obvious Jake doesn't want this. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. There's enough information you can derive from that based on this, unless Jane is absolutely lying. But if Jane was absolutely lying, why would she like break down into tears? Right? In that kind of sense. I don't know if you can say that. That doesn't seem like it makes the most boatload of sense. Um, in that case, but she gaslighted herself. That could be it, I guess. That one I could, but based on just like this text, I guess I could also look back and read exactly what was said before. Hmm. Oh, fuck, it's Dave and Dirk. One. Hmm. Okay. Okay, I'm reading like fucking 2 pages a year. I'm reading 2 pages a year. Hmm. Okay. Well, the whole, and then snap back to reality in this page. And the night passed, no extra detail. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Choices. Yeah. 40. There's like 80 pages. 80 pages. Right, 80 because there's 80 pages. I've read 13 pages over the course of 3 streams. That's a whole lot of time. If you do this one, you have to do the next one, IMO. Man, I'm not even finishing a part like first, like every 2 streams. Damn. Hmm. Okay, I think I do have to discuss what's going on. I do think I have to reschedule, rethink my planned schedule a little more. Yeah, or I could just read it slow, which might be a little better. But then I have to wait. Then I have to wait to see what goes on. Everyone else watching the stream already, I guess not everyone, but most people watching the stream already knows what happened. But I don't. And do I want to wait an extra like cajillion months? You can read more without worrying. Maybe save the epilogues. I don't really worry about like that time frame too much. More just other things. Hmm. And then I also don't like because because reading on Sunday would have the same effect of reading like today, and then I don't want to like have Friday be that. I sometimes like to be intoxicated on Fridays. Not to the point where like Jake and Jane got, but a little bit, a little bit. I don't, and sometimes I read like Homestuck like that. I sometimes forget more things. Now I gotta. Hmm. Okay. Does does Detective Pony and Wizardy Herbert get the can? Or yeah, and I moved that to Tuesday with the music. New smaller sections on that. That might be it. That's the play. That's the play right there. I figured out the play, I think. I do have to discuss more of it though. Oh my gosh. Uh, wow. Wow, this is gonna take a while. Not if I had the extra day. Hmm. Okay, okay. Yes, yes, yes. Do you think I do think this is the end of towards the end of the stream. Do I have anything I want to like yap about at this moment in time? My mind's like a little like fried from just like getting home kind of late last night, being at a conference and just some other things going on, and I'm just recollecting myself for a second. As Dirk and Dave, Section .80 by Kendrick Lamar. Good. We'll eventually run out of the official Homestuck music. That is true. Briska 2, the squeakle. Oh, damn, damn. Hearing that term makes me not want to see Briska 2, actually. See other Briska. The Briska the Reckoning. Hmm. Be funny if you're just like straight up evil, evil. That'd be the best thing to do. That'd be the funnest thing to do. Ah, but she's not gonna be relevant in the epilogues, I assume, unless it's there for to be like an awkward thing. Ah, that's how Jane was gonna look. This is almost how Jake had Jane looking. Oh, pull it back. There. Hmm. I used to have like CRT filters on like the on the TV and the stream in general, so it would have like a more older feeling to it. And then I stopped doing that after it kind of just was obnoxious to look at. I wonder if it's worth doing that again. I miss it. What? Okay. I have to take these off. I think. Therefore I am. Okay. Yeah. That 2 hours is a decent amount of time. I'll have to, I'll have to figure out what to do, I guess. Hmm. Hmm. Damn. What was my plan for Friday? This Friday. Oh yeah, it was. I'm reading Vast Air right now. I almost forgot about that. I almost forgot that was a Friday thing. And Vast Air is pretty all right so far. Here's what happens when we get to like the later parts and seeing like their actual like full evolution of writing and art, I guess too. And I want to read Hexan, but that one will be off stream. I want me just checking that one out. Hmm. Yeah, I think I'll have to do some stuff. It's good, and it'll get good. Okay. Hmm. And then I lost interest at some point. That was me with like an old fan fiction I read of something. It was like really long. Then they did one decision I didn't like, and I was like, I'm out. Yeah. That's because of life and not the quality. Okay. Hmm. I guess that's just me with Tom. My favorite long running mangas. Watemode. Watemode's good. And people misrepresent my gal Tomoko too much, and I can't stand the amount of people who do not even at least do not bother at least watching the anime, and they have this like weird image of Tomoko in their head that is not that is just not her. They ever being some like super creepy like person, being like actually a loser like inside her mental, even like what her like actual thoughts are and certain things, and it's so weird. And they just like miss the point of a lot of like what she does and what she's trying to do. She's just trying to have friends. She's just trying to be fun. She just wants some human connection. Okay. Yeah, I better move the TV out. I can't go on my Tomoko rant again. Okay. Yeah. What? Do I have anything to add? I don't think I have anything else to add right now. I'll be back Friday. I might make a post. There's a chance I have to travel for work again this weekend, but I don't know what time or when or anything like that. Maybe I won't have to. Answered probably. Oh, I have only read a Watemode harem fic. This is my only understanding of Watemode. Damn. GT takeover again. I don't think I could convince them to take over another stream this soon. That last one took I was fighting tooth and nail to get that in there. Get that to happen. Hmm. Yeah. I will say I did find it kind of interesting that some of their complaints about Hive Swap Act 3 at the end of that stream. was pretty valid. You know, some stuff I think I've like partially mentioned, at least like similar things. And yeah, nice. But I guess he doesn't play the genre game at all. Uh, okay, you know, actually, you know what? Bring the TV back in. Bring the TV back in. Let me tell y'all. Let me tell y'all something. You want to make a character. If you're making a character, you want to make them 10 times better to add like the little like a beauty mark somewhere, like a mole right here. It's like a very good spot. Solid, great. This eye, having it at this eye, better than this eye. Unless you're doing something very specific. That is, this makes your character way better. Oh, like, is there a zoom in button? Can I? Or do I have to keep clicking like this? I don't know. That's as far as I'm gonna go. You want that mole? Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'll be back Friday. I will. I will probably be able to be live Sunday. Might be a little weird. Might be a little wonky. I might sound a little different because I have to use like a smaller mic, a different mic that might be a little whack. I don't know. And I'll also be on probably hotel Wi-Fi or my phone's hotspot, whichever is better. Yes, but this is the end of the stream, and I think that's it. Yes, yeah, I've said that many of times, but for realsies now. Thanks for coming around, hanging around, watching me, watching and listening to me struggle to read some of the simplest words ever made, and bye.